I may sound like a massive hypocrite, but I went out and bought a Reaper ring. And you know, in that one video I said I hate Reaper rings. And I do. I really do. But I found a PvP use for it, so I bought it trying to optimize a little bit. Plus we can review it too. And people may look at me first glance and say, why is this guy wearing... No. Why is this guy wearing a haste ring, haste gloves, and a haste quiver on a warrior? Well, if you're thinking I found some kind of haste exploit, no, sadly not. The highest one takes effect. So I only have 30% haste because 30% on my gloves and ring. So that's not why I'm wearing it. Next, we'll look at this total attack increase. And that's the thing people know and love. But I'm gonna give you a little example here on why it's not that good. So we're gonna get as close to 1,000 attack as possible. 1,005, right? So we put on the Reaper ring and adds that nice 15%, and we have 1,155. So we got 150 from it. Now I have this super attack potion which adds 120%. So we use that and we have 1,456. Well, we know that 150 of that is from the Reaper ring. So we got a fill in the blank of what, 300? Well, our base attack was 1,000, right? And 20% of 1,000 is 200, and the potion said it added 100, so that's 300. So we know that Reaper rings and potions and elixirs do not stack on top of each other. They add together. So 15% plus 20% is 35%. It's not whatever 1.15 times 1.2 is. So if you use an attack elixir, you'll be pretty good. You don't really need the Reaper ring. But on to the reason why we actually are using the Reaper ring on this build. The Reaper's Touch skill. And this is one of the most overpowered skills in the history of skills. But it's not that game breaking if you have it or not. But instant cast, and you get poison damage on all of your attacks. And how long the skill lasts, 15 seconds. And the 45-second cooldown, as you can see, there's a third of that missing. 15 times 3 is 45. You basically have 33.333, whatever, how many ever 3s you want to put at the end of it, poison DPS if you cast it perfectly. But I thought about that and I was like, wait a minute, I have a great idea. What we can do is use it as a swap, as you see what I got here. You can use the Reaper ring, just skill, and then switch to another ring. So we have really high DPS now and even more damage than before, and especially because that's poison damage, it'll cut through people in PvP. And I know we're using it on a slow weapon like Obsidian, but it's still nice to have. And for casual use of Reaper ring, you could use something like a Godly Venom Jade ring, which is 100 poison damage, as a swap, and have 200 poison on a ring. Just stuff to think about. I still don't think a Reaper ring's worth the money, but it's a good addition to my PvP build, don't you think?